Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, I'm Dave Schipper, and today I'm talking to Nikki Grossman and Joe Hart of the Sapsuckers, and they were our last finalists. And it was wonderful to have to make that last decision, and we couldn't make it. So we said a three-way tie because there are so many good songs to listen to, and Haas was one of those that we said has to be in our finalists round. So
Aw.
how you two doing over the pandemic? I know you have Safe and Sound, so you're trying to work out a interesting way to keep busy with music and get other musicians involved. What else have you been up to?
I mean, we're getting ready to record an album. I'd say in the first like 4 or 5 weeks of the pandemic, we were just like, I guess the world's coming to an end. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know either. But then we just like, at a certain point, we were just like, whatever. We got to keep moving forward, like plan for the future. So we're just moving forward with this record.
And we've been planning for the record since we made the last one.
Yeah.
So like,
You
we're
have,
like,
you have
stop
a lot of good. You have a lot of good songs because
thank you.
unlike all the other finalists, I know you two. I think out of the 14 people, you and Sophia Talvik were already house concert artists for me. So you two, obviously I know a little bit of your songs, and obviously I'm waiting for that next album release. It's going to have some great songs. Is Haas on that record?
Oh,
Yes,
it will
Haas
be.
will be on that record.
We actually just decided yesterday what's going to be on our new record. So
That must have been a tough decision.
it was because part of what we promised ourselves after the last one is that we would not get caught like at the last minute needing to write a few extra songs to fill out the album, that we wanted to have at least twice the material we needed to make a new album, and we've achieved that. So then it's like, oh, now we have all these dang songs we have to choose between. That's the new challenge, but it was fun actually. Mostly.
Well, and we decided too that the ones that aren't going to be on the official album are going to get recorded on an EP, and it'll be really different from the record.
Yeah.
So. Oh, perfect. Yeah. I think I read something during this pandemic. I forget who said it, but musicians who aren't touring, get recording, because there's got to be, get your music out there. Fortunately, I'm old school. I'll pay for it. Most of the people just want to listen to it on Spotify. Let's go back to some songwriting. So Haas, I mentioned Haas. And I kind of joked as we were kind of making a decision for the final round. I said, well, Haas has to be included in there so I can ask Nikki, what the world does it mean? And how did you move Haas into a conversation of breakup? Because Haas is a name that, I grew up with, from Bonanza and stuff. So, and Happy Trails is the last part of that.
Yeah. It's a pretty personal story, actually.
I think you can go ahead. You can go ahead, right? Like, why not?
I suppose. I mean, it's actually about my divorce.
Oh. Okay.
Not from him.
That is a song yet to be written.
Yeah. No.
So
yeah, I don't think I've ever admitted that in an interview before.
Oh, well, this will be shown to everybody, so now everybody will know. You still won't have to tell everybody.
Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, I'm sure the other person involved, if they heard the song, would definitely know that they were a character in it. So there's that.
Well, and how did the Haas metaphor get in there?
Well, I was on a songwriting retreat by myself. This was a couple of years ago, and a lot of crazy stuff was going on at the time. We were about to we were about to go on tour with Lavender Country, and Joe's mom was about to pass away, and I was like really stressed out and really needed this sort of vacation to myself. And the place I found to go was like not very well heated. And I was like freezing the whole time I was there, and I was having a really hard time getting my creative juices flowing. But I was like, oh, how am I going to write a song? And then just this one word popped into my head, and it was Haas.
Oh.
So I was like about to pass out with exhaustion this one night after trying and trying all day to write a song. I just wrote that word down and then passed out. And in the morning I woke up and wrote that song. So, I mean, I think I must have used to call my ex that, or sometimes it's like, you know, like when things are kind of like, what are you going to do about that, Haas? Like,
it's a word. It's like a fill-in word that we call our friends and each other and our kids. Like, we use that word.
Yeah.
It's like a.
Oh.
So.
Well, now I know the story. So thank you very much, Nikki.
Yeah.
Now,
you're welcome.
He wrote the song, and that's how you submitted it. But we picked the duo, and I wasn't sure. I think the next song you submitted was a co-write. How do you write songs together? Together mostly? One, I've heard the banter where occasionally Joe's got an idea and he's not going to tell Nikki about it, or vice versa.
Or the time I stole his idea and wrote a song.
Maybe that's the banter.
Or he could. Well, most of our songs are pretty much from one person or the other, but we register them all with ASCAP as co-writes. And we tell people they're co-writes because, I mean, there's only two of us. And although we're now involving a band, it's like, well, you have to change the song from how the person originally wrote it in order to include the second person.
Mm-hmm.
And often the second person has tweaks they want to make. So we're just like, whatever, we'll just say we both wrote all our songs.
Yeah.
Which is true to varying degrees.
Yeah, some of them are true co-writes, I think.
Yeah.
And some of them are more, there's like a continuum, I guess, of how involved the other person is in the final product. But we're about to sit down and look at the lyrics of all the stuff that's going to go on the new record. She's going to go over all of my lyrics. I'm going to go over all of her lyrics and just look for efficiencies and ways to improve the songs before we actually put them down forever. Yeah,
so we're between the two of us, we're not very proprietary over our songs.
Yeah.
Or we can be, but not prohibitively so.
Well, that's good.
Prohibitively proprietary.
Not a competition, and Lennon and McCartney would be proud of you two.
I mean, I don't think it's super competitive, do you?
No, I mean, sometimes I personally get defensive about my songs.
Yeah, as do I.
I don't like the changes you suggest, but oftentimes I'll come around to them.
Yeah, same.
So you described a little about the process of a retreat. It's not a typical thing you can do all the time. I bet you'd love to do it more frequently.
Sure. Yeah. But with our family and our homestead and all our touring, it's difficult to schedule.
Yeah, how do you schedule the current time? Do you find time every morning? Are you like diligently trying to write songs, or?
Well, not really right now, since we just spent the past 2 years writing like 25 songs that we are now like having to deal with learning a lot of them to actually play them, and then figuring out what's going to go on the album. So we're going to have to rehearse those ones a lot.
Well, so the 25 songs, what was the process of writing those?
I guess, I mean, speaking for myself, I usually have the germ of, there's a fly. That was a fly.
Gross.
It's a bad fly season here. So I'll usually have 4 or 5 songs percolating at once. And then you'll sort of move forward with one or the other of them. Usually for me, it's when I'm driving. You know, if I'm like going up to town to buy groceries or something like that, I'll work on a song in the car.
Especially if you're alone, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Driving is like very, very, very fertile songwriting time for me.
I agree with that. Yeah, I have several different songwriting circumstances that have seemed to work for me in the past. One of them is sometimes a song just drops right into my head. Like usually when I'm doing something monotonous, like gardening, or like when I had my day job and I was working at the farm, I did a lot of monotonous tasks where I could just kind of space out. And, you know, sometimes you kind of get an idea and you sort of work it and flip things around in your head and then go write something down on your break or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've had a few times where a song is just like wham and just all in there. And then I just go right down the entire thing and it takes me like 10 minutes.
Wow.
Oftentimes it'll be like a really strong idea or concept that I have already had for a while. Mm-hmm. Or a couple times it's been when I was really angry about something and I just like, I have to find a way to express this. Like, and then sometimes I'll have a list of concepts or hooks and I'll have an intentional songwriting day. This is very seldom.
Yeah.
But then I'll sit down and I'll take these ideas or hooks or like partially finished songs and just flesh them out and finish them, which is not always possible. Sometimes you sit down and try to do that and you're like, I gotta go do something else. Yeah.
Can you name the song that you wrote in 10 minutes?
Yeah, Fly on the Wall.
Really? That's one of my new favorites.
Yeah, Kick the Blue Switcheroo was a 10-minute song too.
And for me, Come On Back, Break My Heart was one that was done from the time it took me to drive from Viroqua to my house, which is like 20 minutes.
Wow.
And then Broke Ass Waltz was one that I got lost on my way to the dump. And because I was like, oh, I'm going to try that road. You know, I've never been down that road before. And by the time I actually got to the dump.
You'd be pretty eager to get to the dump. Like why you would take a detour.
I like the dump run.
So,
anyway, that was probably half an hour. Yeah.
So I know you both are excellent instrumentalists. And you probably have been taught and trained and shown techniques. But songwriting, have anybody sat down? Has anybody mentored you on your songwriting, approaches or?
Not formally. I mean, for myself, I went to a special magnet high school for writing. And so I was like interested in it before that, but I learned a lot about the craft of creative writing at that school. And I was like this promising teenage writer and everyone wanted me to go to college and write books and stuff. And then I was just like, whatever, I'm going to be a hobo. And, but yeah, beyond that.
You were already a musician, like a fiddle player or a violinist.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a violinist at the time. And I've learned a lot about songwriting just from hanging out with Joe, honestly.
Yep.
He was already a really excellent songwriter when I met him. And just by finding ways to be a more confident person in general has really helped me with my songwriting too. But yeah, no formal training. No, we just ordered our 2 first books we've ever had about songwriting crafts the other day. Just for funsies.
You can start writing that book. Actually,
I also have a background in writing, but I've just been pretty obsessive student of great songwriters from really as young as I can. I mean, at least 4 or 5 years old, I know I was like obsessed with songs and songwriting, music really early. So
Did you grow up in a country family who loved Johnny Cash, or what kind of?
we had so I'm the youngest of 8 kids, and a lot of my musical background was whatever records they didn't take with them when they moved out. So I had a really weird record collection up until I started buying my own records. And there was a lot of country, a lot of outlaw country, 70s country. And then later on, I sort of discovered the earlier classic country.
Gotcha.
Go pretty deep in that.
Well, that's one of the things that obviously studying the ones that you love, is the fastest way to learn what you think is a good song. So
Yeah, for sure.
Now I have to ask, because my web guy says you misspelled the yellow-bellied sapsuckers. I said no, they've shortened their name. So you're fine with the sapsuckers. So originally I put just Sapsuckers, and I said, oh no, they're going by the Sapsuckers.
Either one works.
I mean, the is formally part of our name, yes.
Okay.
But yellow bellied no longer is.
No.
Well, which is good, in a way. I think we were calling you the Sapsuckers anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really why we did it. Yeah.
All right. Well, have you any questions for me? You guys know about the fest. You've been there before, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Hope to again someday when everything opens up again.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
I hope we win the contest.
Well,
I want to win.
I was tempted to ask you why you didn't submit the other song that you won your songwriting contest down in New Orleans.
Because that was a dirty songwriting contest, and I wrote the song to be extra dirty, and
it was one that I appreciated that you didn't, but we would have had a great sense of humor about
it. I didn't want to jinx it. It already won me one contest,
and that was and the people who haven't heard that song, they got to just ask you for it when you come to a concert, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Depends it definitely
depends on who else
the
is
internet.
at the concert.
Yeah, it depends on the crowd in the concert. Yeah, I understand.
Well,
it has some swears and some graphic imagery and some controversial opinions.
I'm trying to figure out a way to word
but it's all tongue in cheek.
But the fly on the wall one sticks. That you can sit to almost everybody, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, I like that karma one. So
no one has specifically said anything negative to us about that song. So
good.
And it's very apropos for this time of year because we have a lot of flies on the wall.
Cool.
And crossing the computer screen. I can say that if we win the contest, we will have some type of announcement about the song that is winning the contest. That I don't know how exactly it will be.
That intrigues me.
Without giving away a bunch of secrets.
Okay.
But we'll have an announcement.
I'll tell you what, the panel of finalist judges we ended up getting 8 because I wanted to make sure I had a well-rounded selection of people, and I feel for them. There are 28 songs they have to listen to, 14 different artists, and they have to decide on some really good songs. I've been listening to a lot of them recently, so
yeah, I saw you put up the playlist. I'm really excited to listen.
Yeah. Well, right now during my Dave's Basement track, which I'm missing, we're playing the playlist, but and we'll keep figuring out how to promote you guys. We're going to announce it probably on Sunday, August 30th. Do you have a Safe and Sound that weekend?
No, we're done with that.
Safe and Sound is all done.
Yeah.
We'll be at the Trempolo Hotel. I think right now I got David Nash playing some music, but we'll try to go live that day and announce it. So I got to push the finals judges to get me their votes and stuff. And
Well, are they doing outdoor social distance? The bar is open. Okay, cool.
Well, the bar is open. You go in with a mask and they play music outside. On Saturday, I think they try to do the stage. On Sunday, they just put a musician on the porch.
Cool.
And they broadcast to the so we have to have.
Are you gonna put up a Facebook invite?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, we'll try. We can. I don't know what else is going on, but we'll try to. If we're not quarantining for Grandma and Grandpa, we'll try to come up and be there in person. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of a connection I can get there to go live. Amy said that she's got a Wi-Fi on the stage, so I haven't tapped into it. I'll be there this weekend to see Shanna in a Dress, which she's one of the finalists as well. She ended up having a Baraboo gig and asked me if there was any place to get a Wisconsin gig, and so I asked Amy, and she had an opening on Sunday, so I'll get to meet her. She's from Colorado, so.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Out of the 14 musicians, 2 of them I had already booked to the house concert. I could see myself booking all other 12 of them.
Well, now you've got 2021 all set up.
I don't think all of them will come from Spain and Houston.
Right. Yeah.
All these places that were part of the gig, and I think having it online inspired people who wouldn't have normally thought they were going to travel here to apply for it. So
yeah, for sure.
So it's been fun. Met a lot of good people.
Yeah.
Including
Sure appreciate you
2 of my favorites, Nikki and Joel.
Aww.
Yeah,
You're our favorite too.
There were at least 12 or 13 other favorites that didn't get into the top finalists too. There are some good people who were putting in each week. So it was a fun contest. Well worth all the work. So.
Well, we're honored that we made it to the finals.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So I guess we'll see you guys when we see you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
I'll be tuning into some of your concerts again. You know, I love to listen to.
Good deal.
And now I know what to start asking for Fly on the Wall. Plus my other one favorite is Honky Tonk. Is Honky Tonk going to get onto the
Honky Tonk Queen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's on there too.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, it's been fun, guys.
All right. Thank you. Take care.